locker room.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Coach's Corner. We're back with another video. We're standing here with the Mr. Unmatched, Clay Parker.
That's me.
And Philly Zeeks, that's me. Today we are going to be talking about show day. What happens on show day, what to expect, what do you need, what is your body doing? So, show day starts, you show up at your hotel, if you're traveling. Normally, you show up at the hotel, you unpack all your stuff, and normally, well, I feel like we normally head right to registration.
Yes.
Now, at registration, you're going to need an NPC card. You're also going to be telling the people what classes you're going to be doing at the show. You'll go ahead and have your suit checked. So everyone, please make sure you bring your suit, especially for the bikini girls, and especially for the classic guys. You have to weigh in, and you have to get heighted. Everyone gets heighted because all classes are broken down into heights. And then obviously classic bodybuilding, you guys also have to make weight. So make sure you bring your suit.
Yep, you got to get weighed in your suit, so have it on if you are classic, have it on if you are a bodybuilder. That way there's no questions, no arguments, no leaving, and registration can take a long time. You can be standing in line for hours at big shows, even if you've pre-registered, meaning you did it online prior to getting to the show. You already pre-filled out your NPC card and got it online. You can still wait for hours at big shows. I mean, we've been in lines as long as 150, 200 people back, and we're waiting to get registered. So, you have your NPC card. You have your registration with you. You've waited in line. You get up there. You get heighted in. You get weighted in. Then usually you go tan, unless you've already tanned pre.
I personally prefer tanning after check-in.
I have to because of weight.
Of course. And because sometimes, like you said, when you have that really, really long wait, I remember there was one time, it was at Daytona, and Daytona, it was like 2019, the line was like 2 hours long for registration. It was kind of warm. It was here in Florida, nice and toasty, and I have all my long stuff on, and I got my tan done before, and it got too hot, and I'm sitting there in line just like fanning myself to keep cool.
Yeah.
So I personally recommend getting your tan after you're done checking in.
Yes, I agree with that. So what happens now? You're checked in, everything's done. You're back in your hotel room. Now, this is, all right, you may have already started your loading period. You may not have because of weight. Or you may be bikini and you don't get loaded real heavy because you have too much muscle, so you have to come, look a little bit streamlined, I'll use the word, so we don't fill you and make you round as much, because bikini is one of those classes that you have to walk that fine line to win that overall.
Absolutely.
So, for every person that is with us, our team, I'm very, 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 very brutally mean at this point in time, and it's purposeful. I yell at you, lay down in your bed, don't get up, stop walking around, start relaxing. I'm bringing your cortisol down, I'm relaxing your body, because you are already overstimulated. Your mind has been going all day. If you're a new competitor, you're worried, you're wondering, you have no clue what's going on, you've never done it before. My job is simple. It's to keep you calm, keep you from moving around too much, from walking around, and just lay in your bed till I tell you that I want to see you. Now, as Phil knows, I put together schedules at shows. And I use a group texting system, and I text out to all competitors. These competitors get here at this time, these competitors get here at this time, these get here at this time, and they all come to either my room, Phil's room, or one of our coaches' rooms, and we sit back and we look over you. This is where we're making decisions about what food you're going to get, how much water you need, whether you're full, whether you're flat, whether you're looking your best, whether we need to use a diuretic of some type, whether we need a water pill of some type, whatever it is, sodium. We are making these decisions as we see you. That my philosophy of coaching is that the hands-on experience, the hands-on looking somebody is always going to trump trying to do it remotely. Although we do it remotely too, but I love to see you as you're progressing through the night and the day. So that's our normal. We look at everybody. We may run you through posing, 10 times, 12 times?
It could be a bunch, especially if you're new. You definitely, what I normally do is I say, show me your routine, like we're on stage. And especially up to this point, I have ran you through posing a lot. So at this point, we're looking for perfect posing because this is what we're going to see on stage. I know it stinks because sometimes, we're awake at 2, 3 in the morning and you're tired, we're tired, the whole nine. And, we want to make sure you're perfect. Along with that, you want to make sure your tan stays perfect. You don't want to mess up your tan throughout the night.
We talked about this last episode. We zip up, long sleeve, loose clothing, something like this. You can see how it's hanging here. It's loose. Something long sleeve so you're not putting your hands on it, not getting water splashed on it, not putting your hand on any part of you because you'll have a handprint. That's how you protect that tan. You need to protect it like your placing is going to count on it because it can.
Absolutely.
So,
and definitely, guys, sleep. Then sleep the night before show is extremely important. Granted, I've had shows where I've slept like 3 hours the night before,
right.
But remember, sleep is going to lower your cortisol levels. It's going to help the water come off. I know you have. I don't think I haven't, but you can literally ruin your physique from getting up and walking around, staying up all night. Because being awake, 1, you can stress. 2, if you're walking around, you're causing muscles to work and not release the inflammation that it may have. And like he said, especially if you're a new competitor, you're stressing, and obviously if you can just lay down, trust your coach, listen to what they say, you can go through the process much easier. And then that definitely rolls into show day.
Right. The true morning of show wake up. I'm going to back up just a second. Something that Phil does, I do, my coaching staff does, is we do middle of the night check-ins with you guys. Like we do 2 a.m. check-ins or 3 a.m. check-ins, depending when the show starts, to look at you and to feed you. Because personally, I don't like feeding heavier foods that will fill your muscles really well on show day. I like you to be full prior to. And then we can balance that out with foods that dissolve really well and keep the stomach small and tight. They're not going to cause bloating. They're not going to cause you to push forward. So that's why we see you at 2/3 a.m.-ish in the morning, is to give you the last little bit that you need, or pull back a little bit. Let's say you're spilled a little bit. We might pull back and throw some tricks in there that's going to dry you out really good, and you won't be spilled any longer. There's tricks that we know that we do for those times, and then we put you back to bed. I always say, go back to sleep as soon as you eat. As soon as you wake up, it's show day. It is time. It better be game face on. It's time to compete. All those people that are your friends that you're stepping on stage next to, they're not your friends for the remainder of this day. Until it's done, they're my competition. They're your competition. So, what do I mean by that? First and foremost, every time I step on stage, I go with an intention to win.
Absolutely. That's the only reason I'm going there.
I know if I'm going with an intention to win, I'm going to see my friend in the overall. If they're in a different class than me, let's say I'm Classic D, they're Classic C, we'll see you in the overall, bud. All right, that's it. That's my only intention, is I'm taking my class first, and then my goal is to take the overall. I'm not showing up with another goal.
Absolutely.
So, mindset when you wake up that morning has to be, 1, you will go as the day goes. You don't try to press anything. Don't think you're going to rush in, rush out. Don't try to wish it to be too fast. Don't wish to slow it down. Just
take it as it is.
Take it as it is.
There will be a lot of downtime on shows.
Yes.
Please allow yourself, because remember, you got to wake up first thing in the morning, and everyone has to get their second coat of tan. Please allow yourself some extra time. I know I've been late before. I've been late to athlete meetings, especially You know, sometimes in the car you got 5 competitors all going to tan together because we're all staying, you know, in the same hotel or whatever it is, and you just want to allow yourself a couple extra minutes to travel to the show, to get your tan, to the athlete meeting. Give yourself time to be able to not rush, because once again, rushing, you're going to raise cortisol levels. So allow yourself time to do everything that you need to do and just be prepared.
And communicate with your coach. Your coach should know what you're doing every second of that day. Invasively know. Like, if you're not telling me I went to the bathroom, what do I ask you?
Did you go? Yeah, that's always the question. When's the last time you went to the bathroom?
When's the last time you peed? When's the last time you pooped? How much?
Yeah, especially like for me personally, like I on show day need to make sure my stomach's clear.
Right.
Like, because my core substantially looks better when I can get everything out. So that's why, just like he was talking about a minute ago, we make sure we eat all of those heavy foods the day before, or maybe in the middle of the night if you need more. But you don't want, especially, you're not going to be eating
oatmeal,
heavy red meat or heavy oatmeal. You don't want that sitting in your stomach, especially like when I do classic, I have to pull my vacuums. So, and you can tell a difference on stage when I have food in my stomach and when I am completely empty. Because when I'm completely empty, thing flips.
Yep.
And if it's not, it's harder to hold, which is a pain in the butt and annoying.
So now we woke up in the morning, we've got our tan on, we've met with our coach, they gave us something to put in our stomach or told us nothing to put in our stomach. They told us how much to drink, how much not to drink. They've told you, you know, if there's any supplements they want you to take, any electrolytes they want you to take, whatever it is. I'm not going to judge your coach by how they do their things, because I do mine my own way. I'm very methodical, I'm very hands-on, and I can promise you, and I will say this again, I can promise you that if you're prepped by me, you've never been prepped the same way twice, because the circumstances of falling in the exact same way twice is pretty much like getting struck by lightning twice. It's almost not going to happen. So, it is time. You're at the show.
You're backstage. Yeah. You're hot and ready.
We went through our athletes meeting and they talked about prejudging and finals. So Phil, break it on down. What is a prejudging?
So prejudging is, first of all, the most important event of the day.
Say that again.
Prejudging is the most important event of the day because that is where you are judged. Guys, prejudging is where you want to look your best. If your coach says that you're going to look better for finals,
you better be the best person there already.
Yes, we always want to come in better to finals, of course, but you should be aiming for your best for prejudging because that is where your class will be judged. The only thing that is judged in finals is your overall. In prejudging, you're going to walk out. Lately, they've been doing individuals in the mornings as well. So you'll come out,
classes, yeah.
You'll do your routine, you'll come back around stage, and then you'll come out for what's called comparisons. It's normally in groups of 5. In bigger shows, they might do 6.
6 or 7, yeah.
6 or 7 if they're really big shows. So these comparisons in the morning is the do or die. Like these comparisons is where your posing should be perfect. You're giving 100% effort because when you're standing on that line and they're switching you guys, they're comparing you side by side. So you'll come out, you'll do your first comparison. They'll have you flip through your poses, front, back, rotate through if you're classic, so on and so forth. And then they'll, go ahead.
I was going to add to this, each division is a little different.
Correct.
And I'm going to give an example of this so you understand when you watch classic versus bikini. Classic guys might come out and do a 30-second individual routine. Then they might come out and do quarter turns. And then they might get all put on the side of the lines. And then they do their comparisons.
Correct.
Whereas bikini might come out, do a 10-second routine, and go to a diagonal and stand there. You have to be prepared and listen to the expediter and stage personnel. Every show is different.
Absolutely.
They all might be very similarly ran, and the little difference might be stand on a diagonal this week, next weekend get completely off stage.
Absolutely.
Because that's what that judging crew and that expediting crew wants versus the one that you had the week before. So you have to listen. Me as a coach, the first thing I do at every class I have somebody in, I go up when that class starts. I said, hey, how do you want my guy? Are we doing 30-second routine? Are we standing on diagonal after? Or are we clearing stage? And I tell you, I look at you and I said, you're going to go on. You're going to do your 30-second routine. You're going to exit stage to the left. You're going to come back around. You're going to stand right back in this line. Then you're going to go up there and you're going to do your comparisons. And then you're going to do your call-outs. And that's what I tell you. I physically tell you so you understand it. And I make sure you understand it. That's my job as a coach.
Absolutely.
That's his job as a coach. That's what he does with his competitors because we make sure you're prepared. That's part of it. So don't think I did this show this week, next week's going to be identical. It's not. It may be, it may not be. You go in there and you ask the questions or have the questions asked and have someone explain it to you. So now we're at prejudging and they're going through their comparisons. Let's keep on explaining that.
So you go through comparisons and then they have you either stand on the diagonal or they have you stand off stage. The next thing that is going to happen after these big group comparisons is they're going to be calling first call out. So the first call out is where you want to be. What they're going to do is they're going to call out who they think the top 5, they normally top 5, sometimes 6 or 7 of bigger shows, or if it's really close,
right,
they'll pull out the top, let's just say 6 to 7 competitors. If you're in that first call out,
compete.
You're in the running for all the biscuits. So you're going to go out there and you're going to fight for every position.
Yep.
The center position is normally first place. Sometimes, depending on the judging, they like to throw it around a little bit and change it up. But for the most part, the center spot is first place. So you were fighting for them to move you into your center position. The entire time you're standing on stage, you are in a pose. So if you get called into the first call out, obviously you're going to go stand and fight for your line. If you're standing back on the stage and you're waiting to be called for either second or third call out, you still want to stand perfectly posed. Or say you're waiting for the first call out, because the judges will do this often. The judges will do this thing. They'll just kind of look at you and you're all just standing there and you better be in your pose. Or say they're doing comparisons with another group before they do the first call out and you're standing on the side, you better be posed. Because the judges will look up at you and they will judge you. They will critique you.
And it might just take that little second and they look up and see you perfectly posed. I really like that guy. They might write your number down. Now you're in their top 5. So when they slide their paper over for the top 5 to be called out, you're in there. So we pose from the time you can be seen to the time you exit the stage 100% and can't be seen. So if you're standing up on the stairs and you're on the stage waiting, you're posed. Your core should be hard. You should be given the best look you can.
Absolutely. And smiling. Well, yep. I like to smile on stage. Some people have I like to smile.
I would say everybody but bodybuilding can get away with, needs to smile. Bodybuilding can get away with some other facial expressions because it shows some personality. Mm-hmm. Like, I really love Brian DeGalia's posing. His face is so articulate of just different poses. Oh, yeah. Like his most muscular, he always shows his teeth and he has that, and he loves the look of it, but it looks great on him. Then he has one where he looks down at himself when he's, doing something like this and he's looking down at his quad, and that it attracts attention to him because he's very artistic and wants to get your eyes looking at where he's looking. But everybody else, you need to smile. Bikini, what are you being judged on? Full package.
Full package. So
smile, it's part of that.
The whole
demeanor is part of that.
Absolutely.
So prejudging, Phil, they came out, they're doing their thing, they walked out, they got their comparisons, they're in first call outs. When you're in first call outs, it's a battle. There better be nothing going through your head except, I'm going to take this. You want to pose? I'm going to give it to you. You want to pose? I'm going to give it to you. You want to pose? I'm going to give it to you. Every single time they call it. And I'm going to give you the best I can. It's okay to show personality during this time too. For men's physique, you better show personality.
It's a tight battle for men's physique. Men's physique is only judged on your top half. So there are things you have to do to stand out. I do, special things on stage to make the judges look at me. I don't know if we're gonna go into like that. You want to go into that depth?
We can touch that for a little bit, and then.
So when I'm on stage, for example, I like to reset. If the judges aren't looking at me and I'm standing there, well, first of all, let me back up a little bit. When you're on stage, or when I'm on stage, I don't look at the audience at all, not even for a second. I look at the judging panel. I look at each of them in the eyes. I'm posing and I'm looking for what judge is looking at me. If this judge on this side is looking at me right now, I'm turning towards them so they get my perfect eye. If I see this judge looking at me now, I'm gonna turn a little bit and aim for them. If I'm on the far right side, I'm gonna make sure I'm posing my right side. If I'm on far left, I like to flip and pose my left side. If I'm in the center, I kind of square up more. I'm posing for the best angle that the judge is looking at me. The audience doesn't matter. You shouldn't be gandering out. You should be eyeing the judges the entire time you're on stage. And to be honest, it helps me focus too, because I'm there to do a job. Especially if that head judge is looking at me, you bet your ass I'm giving an extra like, because remember, the head judges,
they're the head.
They're the head judge, but they say it goes. So. Some dudes like to wink and throw an extra pizzazz smile, or if the judges aren't looking at you, I'll do an extra motion just to be like, hey, eyes back at me. And the more the judges are looking at you.
Now let me give you a secret on this, because this is very important. If you're being looked at, don't move.
Yes, guys. If they're looking at you,
if they're looking at you, don't move. Give them what you have. Give them the best, because as soon as you break that pose, they're moving on. So you hold that pose for them. Let them get a chance to judge you, look at your physique, and then move on. There might be one little thing, because you stayed still, that they catch that puts you over the next guy. It may be something such as a lat insertion, or it might be something such as the roundness of your delts. It might be the pose itself, or the personality coming out in the pose. It can be something small and minute that separates you and the other guy who are running for first place. Or let's say there's 6 of you and it separates you from not placing and placing. Even though we don't want the 5th place spot, I don't want to be 6th. I'd rather be 5th. I know that sounds stupid, but that's still, it's important. And it used to be really important because years ago, top 5 were national qualifiers. Well, last year, top 5 was national qualifier.
Well, so, even now, it's back to top 2. So if you're fighting, even if
third,
if you're fighting for that second, third, that one little split second can matter.
Right. I want to hit on something on prejudging, because we need to go on the final so we don't run this too long for you guys. So at prejudging, listen to your coach. Lay your happy ass down.
Yes, guys.
Don't be up walking around taking pictures. If you're at a Europa or a big show that has a expo, don't be out in the expo. If you care more about that expo than your show, you're in the wrong business. You came here to do a job.
You did too much work to ruin it.
Like he said, I'm here to do a job, and that's to win this. You're not going to win it if you're getting up, walking around, looking at this, looking at that. Lay down, put your feet up, put your headphones on, go to sleep. Let me wake you up and tell you what to do. Let me tell you when to eat. Let me tell you when to drink. Let me tell you when it's time to step on stage, because that's what I'm there for. That's what you pay me for, is to run everything, so everything is effortless for you. Do not get up and let me find you, 27 booths down the row, and I'm looking for you because your lineup's, 4 away. Trust me, I come unhinged.
Oh, yeah. So the one thing we kind of skipped over, I'll touch on it real quick before we pop into between prejudging and finals. When you're working, especially with our team, what we do, we normally have a team spot backstage. Our whole team will be in kind of one area, and we do that for a reason, so we're not running around trying to find somebody. When we put you guys, all right, team unmatched, this is our section. It kind of gives it a nice family feel. It helps everyone kind of relax, but it also helps us coach a lot, because we need to know where you are. And like you said, we literally tell competitors to go to sleep. And so sometimes we need to go back, wake you up. Hey, all right, it's time to start loosening up. Time to start getting warm. You're going to be on in about 30, 45 minutes.
Go use the bathroom.
We don't know when you're going to step on stage. The number one question that's kind of shitty on show day is we don't know when you're going to step on stage. Sometimes it goes fast. Sometimes it'll really slow down. I've been held backstage in the pump up room for like an hour before. Like,
all right, you're on next.
Steady pumping.
We're in the line, ready to go. Nope, we're gonna run intermission now. The judges are hungry, thirsty. They've been here all day. We need to give them a break, so we're running intermission. So you're going on in 35 minutes from now, and that happens. Go with the flow. That's what I said from the beginning of this day. You just go with the flow.
So before we move on to the prejudging and finals, just when you're at prejudging and before you're at finals, be in your spot. Don't dilly-dally. Relax. Rest. I'm a big fan of music. Even while I pump up, I like to, just like I'm in the gym, I
put my earbuds
put my
on.
Headphones on. I start pumping.
I'll get going. We did this at first call-outs this year. Last year,
done it a couple times.
Well, there was 5 of us. I don't think we talked to each other except to get, hey man, you got a band that's like 35 pounds? Yeah, here, grab this one. I put my headphones, and we're all pumping because we all go one after another.
Shoot,
and I don't think we said any other words to each other.
I've had headphones in, I'm pumping, and he's just sitting there sticking food in my mouth. He even gets hands-on with me. He's on more than one show. He's pumped me with his hands.
Right.
Honestly, my favorite was before Daytona. We had like a
Yep.
full-on workout. He was in my face. He's like, "Do you want this?" And I was like, "Yeah."
And he won it all.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Every class that you went into too, not just one class, but that was your first classic debut, and you won classic, and then we went in and we won the overall in men's physique.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I think you got a trophy about from the ground to here, so about
Ooh, fatty.
Yeah, it's a big one. That was a good one to win. That was a good show too. A lot of people.
That was a giant show.
I mean, to put this in perspective with that show, guys, we had alone 47 entries from our team. That's our team. That ain't everybody else's. So now we're gonna move on. Let's say prejudging ended.
Done with prejudging. Now what do you do?
All right, let's talk about this. If you're in the top 5, you know you're probably gonna show again, or not show. You know you're probably gonna place at this show, and then your coach's responsibility is to feed you and tell you to rest. So after prejudging, I like to take the entire team out, time permitting, and I tell everybody, you eat this and this, 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 and I tell every one of them down the line what they eat. And then I tell them how much to drink and what to do when they get back. For most competitors, it's eat, drink, go to bed. End of story. Get ready for night show.
Absolutely. And the sleep, once again, very important. This is a time where, as coaches and as athletes, if you're watching this, especially if you're new, please understand that there will be a separation of people who are going to be placing and people who are not going to be placing. Depending on the show size, if you didn't place top 5, you're not going to step on stage, and if you do step on stage, you're just going to step on, wave, and
unless you're a bodybuilder.
Unless you're a bodybuilder.
Or classic guy. Now, at a pro level show, you will not go back out.
Correct. If
you'll walk across the stage and wave, but you're not doing a routine. You're not top 5. If you're at the pro qualifier and above, not everybody gets the same game. It's you earn the spot to pose at nighttime. Mm-hmm. You earn it by placing, okay? So, knowing that, it's been many times when I've gotten people backstage, let's say Masters, National or something, like, I don't care what you do, just don't overdrink, don't overeat, relax a little bit. We're not going to pump, you're just walking across stage. And they look at me like I'm stupid. But this is the thing. Why waste all that energy to walk across the stage? All you do is walking away. You're not hitting a pose, not doing anything. Or you might hit one pose, but still, you're not competing. The competition's done, you're walking out and waving. Now it's my job to focus on, all right, this guy's won his class, this guy's won his class, this girl's won her class. So we need to get you guys ready for an overall. And that might be, like he said, how long did we pump for?
A minute, 45 minutes or an hour.
Like 45-minute workout I did with him.
It was rough.
And we ran through it, and it was my job, because we're going that long into a workout, to keep him motivated, keep him full. Like he said, he'd be doing his curls and I'd be feeding him. He'd be doing his delts and I'd be feeding him. And I'd tell him, I'd be in his face too. I didn't just let him stand there.
Yeah.
I'm telling him, this is your job right here. You came here to earn this. Are you going to fail yourself? You get out there, you hit your poses, you do this, you do that. We're taking this home.
And it was also It's also a game too. This is why I always love that we always have a coaching staff backstage. If you are looking for a coach, which we are the next video is going to be about picking a coach. Ask the coach if they're going to be backstage with you. Why? Because the backstage, in my opinion, is so important. He's done this a bajillion times. He knows, all right, we've been pumping for a while. What I know, if you're pumping for a while, he likes to do almost like you're doing sets. Do this exercise, this exercise. Wait. 4 to 5 minutes. Take a break. All right, do another set. Eat this. Do this exercise, this exercise. Rest. And especially another big thing with that too for backstage is timing your pump so that when you're pumped, but you don't want to pump so close that when you go on stage you're out of breath.
Right.
Because I've done that before. You want to be calm and ready before you go out on stage. You'll see guys that will just be pumping. They're like, go on stage, just throw their band down and go out.
Right.
It's really hard to catch your breath, especially if you're pumping really hard.
So, yeah, think about this. You walk out there in the first call, front relax, quarter turn to the right, quarter turn to the right, quarter turn to the right, front double bicep. That quick. When are you going to breathe?
Yeah, and especially on bigger shows, like they are quarter turn.
They're hurting you through like your cattle
Quarter turn.
because they got to get to that many people. And you have to remember, at these big shows, the judges can look at you before you even walk from behind that curtain. They know what you look like. They know a physique because that's all they do. They're judging for hours on end. They might judge 400 physiques this day. So they know they know who they like. So that's why it's important to be crisp when you come from behind that curtain and not be breathing, not have your gut go like this. And it will go in and out with every breath because your lungs are expanding. You don't want them to do that. Therefore, you need to stop your pump at the right time or slow your pump to the right exercises. There's many times, how many times have I taken bands, everything away from you, and said, no, you're only using your weight of your arms, or flexing the chest. We're doing flexes.
Well, especially at national shows or pro qualifying shows, it's so annoying, but you can't bring bands past the pump room.
Right, you might pump for 35 minutes, and then you might stand in line for 35 minutes. And so you need to know the flexes that's going to make you look nice and full.
Exactly, and
all right,
it's definitely a whole new learning curve, but that's another topic.
Let's talk about, we're at finals, you made the top 5, so what happens? So you're going to go out there and you're going to get your trophy. You're going to stand on diagonal, and they're going to call your numbers. After you've done your routine, you walk up, you get accordingly, far left, 5th, then far right, 4th. Then you move 1 into the center, far left, and that's going to be 3rd, 1 in the center on right is going to be 2nd, dead center is going to be your 1st place. Once you get a 1st place, you have to understand you're not done. Your game just begun. Now it's time to win the show. You've won your class, let's win the show, right?
Absolutely.
So you come off stage, and it's time to prepare for that overall that's going to happen in a couple minutes, or right afterwards. And now, I will tell you, when you walk off stage and you're coming back on for an overall, I usually make you see me. I don't care what the expediters or judges say. It's my job to prepare you to be the best you can be. I have standing there with a water bottle, take a sip, because you just got done posing. All right, eat this. All right, swallow your food. Okay, look at me. All right, let me see this, let me see that. All right, go on stage, cool your head, do your thing. It's go time. And that's what I do. And the expediters can get mad at me, people can yell, but this is the thing. They don't have any right to take away your moment. The other people got 7, 10, 12 minutes to rest in those classes before you. They're not giving you the time to get you perfect. That's my job. So let them be mad at me. They can be mad at me. I can take it. I'm a big boy. But they're not going to ruin your day. That's what makes you my client. It's my job to stand up for you.
And sometimes, for example, I'm top class, for example, in men's physique. You saved me the one time going into the overall because the judge or the expediter pulled me off, said give me your trophy, and was telling me to go right back on. So if you're tall class, obviously you got A, B, C, D. Yep. So A, B, C all got a good couple minutes to rest.
That's what I was talking about. That
I'm D class, 10, so I'm walking off, coming right back on. He stopped and he told the expediter, he's like, nah, I need him for a second. He literally just stood there, gave me a little pep talk, which, that 30 seconds allowed me to okay, we're doing this. I'm going out there for an overall right now. And those 30 seconds definitely made
calms you down, get your breath back, get your mindset on what the task is.
Mm-hmm.
You have to refocus it. It's like doing an exercise, like doing a squat. When I walk underneath that squat bar and I put my arms up, I don't pick up and just go. I look at myself, I bring those arms down tight underneath, get my back nice and tight, the muscles sitting there so I can hold this weight, and then I lift it up and I step my steps back and get ready. I don't just go up, get under, not even look at myself and squat. You need that 7-8 seconds of preparing yourself for that weight that's going to come, because it's not an easy exercise. It's not an easy task going back up there and taking this overall. So you need to collect yourself. That 30 seconds I'm going to give you, so what, the show gets out 30 seconds longer. I mean, they can yell at me. It's not going to hurt my feelings.
His feelings will not be hurt.
You pay me to do a job, and I will promise this. He's seen this before in South Florida with the expediting staff and the judging staff.
That was, yeah.
We went down there to a show. Well, you put my tall girl in a class B, but she's never been. You put my short girl, who's 4'10", 4'11", in a different class. And you took one of them who put them in a true novice when they're going there for one reason only. That was so they can get their national qualifier to compete in nationals the next weekend. So I'm not shy to say, hey, you got these in the wrong class. This isn't what they signed up for. You're looking at things wrong. And I ain't shy to stop and call a promoter and tell people, because if nobody stands up, you've let it gone. The promoter did the right thing. He came back and said, no, she's here for a national qualifier. Put her in the right class. Put her in this. And I had their forms on my phone because I filled out their forms for them with the classes I wanted to make sure that they were taken care of. And I was able to show the promoter, right here's the form that I filled out. See it? See this girl's form? See this girl's form. Look at their height. And we get their height cards. They went and got the height cards, and he laid them out and said, you have all these girls in the wrong class. Fix it and fix it now.
They actually had to
rejudge at night.
Rejudge, yeah. They brought out the classes again because they sent her out in her own class. But anyways, your judge, your coach is your advocate. On the day of show, you are the athlete. Be the athlete.
Right.
That's why.
Don't get mad. Don't get upset. Say something to me.
That's why I personally love
coach.
having a solid coach backstage, because all I need to focus about as an athlete is going on that stage and doing my best. Everything else is handled by the coaching staff, and that makes the day so much easier. We've seen people without coaches backstage. We can't tell you how many people we've helped that we didn't even know who they were. They just we could tell they needed help, so we helped them. I can't tell you how many people have been like, my coach won't answer on my FaceTime, and I've called him 10 times. And so personally, guys, if you can have a coach backstage with you, I recommend it 100% of the time.
I agree with it. Even me, I still bring my coach.
Yeah.
If I don't bring my coach, I bring my wife or him. Sarah comes and she coaches me because my coach can't make it. If my coach says, hey, look, I can't go that weekend, I'm here, I'm there, I got this going on, then I'm like, hey, Phil, we got a show. If it's Sarah, I said, hey, Sarah, you're going to have to coach me here. You need to do everything for me. Because it's my job to show at this point in time, not my job to coach. So, all right, guys. I know this is getting a little long. I hope you understand the day of show activities. I hope you understand it starts the night before. You get there, you get checked in, you get your tan, you get everything done, you get your food in, you get your sleep in. You wake up the next morning, you're ready for show, you get early to everything, you understand that it's going to be a long wait, you understand that rest is your friend, you lay in the back, you get as much sleep as possible, you put your feet up and just relax, let the cortisol go away. You get up on stage, you do your thing, you show yourself off, you smile, you have fun, you come off stage, you kind of deload a little bit with a little bit more food, some more sleep, and you get ready again to come back to show. You show the best you can at night show, you get off that stage, and it's your time. Now, there's one thing I want to add to this, is don't ever, I hate to see this, and it's from more newer people than older people, I hate people saying, well, center stage this morning, so I got this. You don't know yet, and
don't spend your money before you got it.
Right. Yeah. Just, it's okay to put up, made first call this morning, really happy with this. We'll see where tonight goes. Something like that, it's okay. But don't declare yourself winning everything before you have. One, it demoralizes you and hurts you when you don't. But two, you don't know what the judges have picked. You don't know how they're placing up their order. As a coach, I am honest with you. I give you an opinion. Do I not?
Yeah.
I always honest and blunt with you. If I think you got your class, I tell you, I think you got it. If I think you don't have it, I say, I think you might be second. I don't know. If I think you're, if there's 3 of you that are close, I can be like, dude, any 3 of you can have this. You all got great physiques. This is the differences between you each. So this is what we're coming back to the night show with in case we do have it, and we're going to be combating for that overall. Absolutely. I don't lie. I don't sugarcoat. If you don't place, I tell you didn't place, but it's okay. If you're a new competitor, it's okay, guys. That doesn't talk bad about you. Doesn't mean you didn't go 100%. Doesn't mean anything. Because you think of a brand new competitor stepping on stage versus someone like me. I'm not the best competitor, and I'm not genetically gifted. But what I do know is when I get on stage, I can have fun with you. I'm not nervous. I can show the judges what they want to see. I can pose. I can control my breathing. And it's taken this many years to get there, where you can have the best physique in the world and even have a better physique than any of us show up. But let's say you can't control your breathing, or you have stage fright, or you're not listening to the judges. That's going to count against you and rise someone like me above you, or someone else above you, or someone who has 5 or 6 shows under their belt above you, even if you have the better physique. That's why it's the whole package, guys. But don't ever beat yourself up. That better be motivation to get out there, to go harder, and to come back again and get better. The first time you do it, it's usually you fall in love with it no matter what. But you need to put your mind there that it's okay not to be first place, because if I'm not first this time, I will be next time, and I'm going back for it again. But you never go in expecting not to get first place. If you in your mind, I'm going here to take everything, because that's what makes you a competitor. You just can't be a bad sport or upset if things don't go your way. Absolutely. It's going to happen. It sucks, but it happens. So
guys, take away from this video: come prepared.
All your food.
Bring everything your coach tells you to bring. Double check that list. Listen to the judges and listen to the expediter. Show day is going to have a lot of rest time. Rest is really important, guys. And last thing, go out there. You've already done all of the hard work.
Yep.
It's done. Go out there, show your physique, smile, have a good time. You're going to meet all these great people that are all doing the same thing as you. The atmosphere is just, it's addicting.
Yes.
The stage atmosphere is absolutely addicting. So guys, go out there, have a good time, love the sport, and just listen to your coach. Definitely listen to your coach.
And have fun. If it's your first show, no matter what, make it experience and have fun, guys. So, this is Coach Clay.
Thanks for watching. Please smash that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up, hit the like, throw some comments down below. Any questions you had about the video, we'll definitely answer. And we will see you guys back for another Coach's Corner. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day.
See you guys.